What's up, guys? So, I'm going to tell you about my theories of evolution and what I think. I got everything plotted out, so I'm going to tell you everything, okay? Now, here's my theories of evolution, okay? What I believe, right? So, what I believe is that God or the universe or the force of life, which is love, means that everything came from love, okay? So, I think that everything came from love, and I'm going to explain to you why. You see, this is the way the universe looks right now. The universe is like a cosmic web, you know, and you can see that web here. See, I can't really show these images so much, but this is the whole universe basically, and everything is connected within a web. All of these are little stars. I mean, these are galaxies. So this is a thing of galaxies, and you can see all of these galaxies are connected by this one big cluster, and there's like probably billions of galaxies. See, look at this here. Let me show you. See how beautiful this is? So this is a cluster within, you know. So what I think is that in the beginning of the universe, let me show you. In the beginning of the universe, everything was connected, you know, through electromagnetism. That's what the first force and the dominant force of the universe. So I believe everything was connected. So this is why I believe in God. I believe that everything is one in some way. We're all connected by this electromagnetism, and as I showed you through here, all of this universe is still connected by this electromagnetism, as you can see. See? So this is our universe, and this is how it looks. Let me show you something cool that they showed me. Let me see. I like these things. This is how the universe started to expand. See? So, when the universe first began, everything started to expand, and this is what it looks like now. See? So, everything is still connected. So, I believe that it is our destiny. Life is our destiny. The life that we have here in this universe, it's destiny. You know, the different animals and what they became, you know, this distinction between them is due to destiny. The universe has destined for us. Now, let me go through the periods. Okay, we came from love, and it was made, and we were all made in our own unique ways. You know, when I look at animals, and I look at all these different kind of animals, I feel that every animal is way too distinct for us to have evolved from monkeys, and for them to have evolved in certain ways. Like, for example, a cat and a dog. You know, cats, they're very intelligent, but they don't listen to human beings, but they clean their cat shit. They don't eat fruits, and you can't find any, you know, animals that eats fruit, any cats that eat fruits and stuff like that. But dogs do, and dogs don't listen. They do listen to human beings, and they don't clean their shit. So the distinctions are very great, and you would think that after so many millions of years, when you look at, you know, how long human being or animals have been here, you know, we've been here for like the first monkey is 65 million years. So you imagine dogs and all of these different kind of animals. Primates have been here since 65 million years, you know, and you imagine dogs and cats and all of these things. They have not, that, you know, like dissected. A cat has not become like a dog, and a dog has not become like a cat, even though they could have been living aside from each other for all these years. So that's one thing to show, like the distinguishedness, the differences between all these animals shows that, you know, that evolution is not really real. It seems to me, like I said, by looking at the way the universe is, to me, I feel like these streams of galactic energy is God's vessels, and that the universe commands what it wants to be. I believe that the whole universe is love and life. So it has manufactured life to be the way it is. Part of that theory comes from the fine-tuned theory that life became suitable for, I mean, the universe became suitable for life. You know, if anything was off by 1 inch, any law of the universe was off by like 0.0000000, a shitload of zeros, one, that the universe could have not been here. So, and life would, and it would have not been suitable for life. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. Okay, so no animals like one another. I already basically said that. Now, that's what I believe. So now, why evolution is not real? Okay, I'm gonna go through these things steps. There is no missing link. We can't find the direct link from humans to apes. There are no apes that exist now that are like humans. Okay, so the fact that there are, oh, just to go through this, you see there's still connection there between our universe, right? All right. The fact that what? There's no missing link. Look at this. Look at this link. This story here. I don't know what BBC means, but it says here we have still not found the missing link between us and apes. This is, you guys need to read this because it's very long. It's very interesting. But first we thought, it basically says first we thought we were like chimpanzees or gorillas. Then somebody suggested that we were more like this kind of creature. And then they found that we could have not been like this creature because they're just too different in certain ways. Both apes use their arms, and this is what it says right here. For example, it says, I hate when I get lost. This led to some, LCA means last common ancestor, right? Okay, so basically we didn't evolve from any of these creatures. Okay, it's hard to figure this out. Anyways, so it might seem absurd to argue that our highly developed brain is anything other than an example of primates' evolution pushed to the extreme, but human arms, hands, legs, and feet are not as highly specialized as we might assume. In these characters, man finds his counterparts not in anthropoid apes, but in animals that are clearly regarded as more primitive, wrote Strauss. What Strauss and a few others were really getting at is that humans show none of the specialized features that allow other apes to swing through the trees. It makes sense to at least consider the possibility that humans split apart from other primates before the apes evolved, brachiating or knuckles walking for that matter. Strauss could not say exactly which species should be recognized as our sister, but the missing link, which is LCA, could well have been a relatively small-bodied primate that ran along branches rather than swinging beneath them. This disagreement continued for several more decades, says Nathan Young at the University of California, blah, blah, blah. And in fact, even in the 1980s, it was clear on the type of features alone exactly where humans slotted into the primary evolutionary tree. So it's not clear where humans came from, you know, when it comes down to these apes. Okay, so then just decades ago, this uncertainty vanished. By the late almost, we started believing in chimpanzees and whatever chimpanzees and their close relatives. So to understand this turning point in the story, we have to skip back a few decades and look what was going on in a completely different branch of scenes. So there you go, bunch of stories about why it's not real, you know. All manner of fossil primates, including apes, had come to light by the 1960s. One of them, an ape called had begun to look a lot like a direct human ancestor. It was found 14-16 million years ago. It had thick enamel, blah 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 blah. Okay, so now it just gets a little more complex with something that I read, but you know, I can't get deep into it again because I forgot. So just read this article, okay? You'll see why we're missing link. There's no missing link. That's what it basically is about. We have still not found the missing link between us and apes. how did I find this? You can look up this, the link between apes and humans, and it says we have still not found the missing link between us and apes. Okay, the link between apes and humans. Okay, now you see all these monkeys. We're not like them. Okay, so this is what I was saying. There's no apes that exist now that are like humans, right? So if you look now at all the apes that exist now, we are not, you know, I mean, look at these monkeys. They kind of have faces that look like ours and all of that, but there's no like walking apes that just walk around and they can talk to each other and they fucking build houses and they have a religious belief and do little culture things and whatnot. So we're way too different, you know, compared to these animals, you know. And considering we survived great extinctions, you know, I don't believe it. Now I'll go more into my opinion about it now because, you know, there's more to talk about. But I'm just gonna say this real quick. It says things that I wrote. People say that this is because of Nietzsche, but this would mean that cells and DNA have a mind of its own, and so they follow a certain destination. That could be true that they follow the destiny of being what they are if the universe designed it that way, because the universe could set out everything to be the way it is, electromagnetically, like I said. All the animals did not evolve, they just went extinct. Okay, so now I'm going to get into that later, but I'm going to talk more about this whole differentiation between monkeys and human beings. Okay, when did we start coming out of the trees? You know, they say that we came out, you know, during the Pliocene era, right? And that was like 5 million years ago. We came from being monkeys. We started walking upright 5 million years ago. You see? So that seems kind of crazy because monkeys were around since 65 million years. So monkeys were around for 65 million years. Here you see there's 10 million years passed between 65 to 55. Then here 20 million years passed. And then here another 10 million years, and then you get another jump of about rounded off 20 million years, and then boom, man starts to evolve up, starts walking upright from 5 million years to this many years now. So how many species of upright humans were walking around during this time? How long did it take? Why is it that they can't find like upright humans during these other times right here? You see, so in all this era right here, I believe that there were different kind of monkeys and they were walking upright, but they didn't find any in this era. They found them in this era, which is the Pliocene era. They found that human beings were starting to walk upright. So they found different species of that, and I will look at it now. I gotta go to it. So like it comes down to the evolution, human lesson plans. It comes down to the evolution of humans, right? There's different species, you know. So we came from all these different monkeys, as you can see, right? And we found all these different kinds of monkeys. And this goes back to 44 million years ago, just 4 million years ago. So they found all of these different ape-like creatures, and we came from this kind, Australopithecus and robust Boise or whatever. So we came from mutation, you know, that's what they say, that our genes mutated. It's not actually like evolution, but we came from mutations. And I will show you where in the Smithsonian's, for example, the Smithsonian say that. When I look it up, right here it says most scientists currently recognize some 15 to 20 different species of early humans. Scientists do not all agree, however, about all these species are related or which ones simply died out. Many early human species, certainly the majority of them, left no living descendants. Scientists also debate. See, so right here it says many early human species, certainly the majority of them, left no living descendants. So basically, all these missing links, all these different kind of human beings, you know, they were kind of like humans, they left no descendants, right? So why? Because maybe they were mating and they had different they just evolved, so they died off and then new people came. Here it says I'm gonna look it up. It says somewhere about the process of evolution, and I'm going to talk about that in a sec, but let me just finish reading that. Scientists also debate over how to identify and classify particular species of early humans and about what factors influence the evolution and extinction of each species. See, so they're all confused about this. And I'm going to talk about this right here, these numbers right here. See, it says species of modern humans populated many parts of the world much later. For instance, people first came to Australia probably within the 60,000 years, and to the Americas with the 30,000 years. The beginning of agriculture and the rise of the first civilization occurred within the past 12,000 years ago. So this was at the melting of the polar ice caps. And I'm going to talk about that later because I believe it was because of Noah's Ark. But I'm going to talk about this later. Okay, so here it says we came from mutations. Evolution occurs when there is change in the genetic material. The chemical molecular DNA, which is inherited from the parents, and especially in the proportions of different genes in the population. Genes represent, okay, so basically it says that we came from genetic mutations, right? So we passed on our genes. And so it also says that it's more of an environmental factor that causes evolution. Evolution does not change any single individual. Instead, it changes the inherited means of growth and development. Parents pass down adaptive genes, and somewhere here it says the environment, right here. Human evolution took place as a new genetic variation in early ancestor populations favored new abilities to adapt to the environmental change and so altered the human way of life. So basically, we evolved due to the different environments. So like I said before, when it comes down to the universe, I believe that the altered environments came from the universe altering it in different ways, you know, and that's God. That's basically God, you know. And you know that there's different, you know, access points and cycles that the earth can go through, like seasons. So anyways, I believe we were manipulated by the planets, right? By the planets and the stars. So apes are too different. There's no human-like apes right now, and that's my point of that. Okay, so the only way that we look at these, when we look at these environmental factors, like when we look at the Smithsonian thing, the only way that these all these other human-like creatures died off is through the environment changing so drastically they all died and they had an extinction. Now, let me show you something about this. Look at this. Here it says there was a gigantic extinction about 252 million years ago. Here there is a big extinction. Okay. When you look at this chart right here, right? I know it might be too small. Look at this chart. Okay, you have extinctions. You have extinctions in different parts. Monkeys and different kind of monkeys started coming around this time, but we evolved only from this time. It's 5 million years. So that's a very short amount of time for human beings to have evolved. You know, it's a very short amount. That's why It's kind of ridiculous considering the fact that we've been evolving for hundreds of millions of years. I mean, look at this, right? Like dinosaurs came around this 100 million years right here. You have 200 million years to 65 million years. None of these creatures became smart. None of these creatures became smart enough to become like humans. But sometime here in 65 million years, we started walking upright, right? So what influenced, these eras? Why did time shorten and things started to evolve? So maybe it started to evolve more rapidly around here, but what caused it? Um, what caused it is the environment. The environment is, being destroyed, extinctions, And if you see, why do you think they say that God is coming soon? Because extinctions happen more frequently and more frequently. Okay, so now getting back to this. Okay, back to my points. Right. Now, all the animals did not evolve, they just went extinct. I don't believe that we came from apes. I think we are all a unique species of our own, even the Neanderthals and half humans and whatnot, okay? So I already went through the half humans. I'm going to take a look at some of the animals that existed, right? The Pleistocene animals. I want to look at the Pleistocene animals, right? Okay. Are these Pleistocene animals? I'm going to put in the Pleistocene animals. Pleistocene animals. Pleistocene. Oh, Pleistocene. Okay. So, now I'm going to talk about the global extinction event that happened during the Pleistocene era. Okay? And all of this is a little confusing. Okay, so the Pleistocene era is 5 million years ago. Right? And I'm going to close, I don't want to close anything, but so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and forth. I don't know where the fuck I am though. Alright, this is not important anymore. This is maybe important. This is not really important. What does it mean to be human? This is not important. This might be important. Okay, now I'm going to talk about this era, the Pleistocene era. See, Pleistocene era was a 5 million years, okay? And I'm going to talk about it now. Okay, the Pleistocene epoch is typically defined as the time period that began about 2.6 million years ago and lasted until 11 years ago. The most recent ice age occurred then as glaciers covered huge parts of the earth, right? So, what I believe caused all the animals to die off in the Pleistocene era, I'm going to put the Pleistocene animals again. Pleistocene animals. Okay, images. These are the Pleistocene animals, right? You can see some of them. This one used to live in a cave. Look at these animals. Is this really one of them? Is this really one of them? Are these dumb? No, those are like animals that exist now. Okay, so Pleistocene animals were like saber-tooths, see, and mammoths and stuff like that. So all these creatures died off. Why? Because of a mass extinction. And I'm gonna show you where exactly it says that right now. Come on, baby, come to me. I hope it's here. Let me see. It's gotta be here, god damn it. Alright, so if it's not here, I can type it in. There is... Fuck, please come on. Where is it? Alright, but let me just get to the point, alright? I'm here. We came from these animals, from the Pleistocene era. And in this time and age, Uh, it existed between 5 million years ago, and we went into the Pleistocene era 2.6 million years ago, and there was a global extinction. The ice caps melted, okay, and then voila, we have all of these beautiful animals, right? So explain to me how these big animals, you know, these big motherfucking crazy looking animals, they all died off. Look at this one. So weird, right? But why would it die off? Because it doesn't have enough energy? Look at this one. Look at this one. Look at this. So, look at this one. So these animals, they started to die off, right? Yesterday they had more. Look at this one. So these animals started to die off because of the ice age. And this is what we got left with. Puny, small, little cute animals. This is our animals now. And the animals that we have now are kind of cute. See? Why? I believe that's because of Noah's Ark. See? So, what is this? Oh, this is the link I was looking for. So, this is about how we came out of the Ice Age. See? So, the Pleistocene epoch is typically defined as the time period that began 2.6 million years ago and lasted until about 11 years ago. And I believe that Noah's Ark happened around 10 million years ago. It says the most recent ice age occurred then as glaciers covered huge parts of the Earth, planet Earth. There have been at least 5 documented major ice ages during the 4.6 billion years since Earth was formed, and most likely many more before humans came on the scene about 2.3 million years ago. So we came around 2.3 million years ago according to this. Okay? So the Pleistocene epoch is the first in Homo sapiens in which Homo sapiens evolved, and by the end of the epoch, humans could be found in nearly every part of the planet, which is basically 12,000 years ago. So 12,000 years ago, humans started to evolve. Started to be all around the world. Why? Because Noah's Ark happened, and he started to spread and multiply, and then that's why it became civilization. But they say, it's because of the ice melted and it led to agriculture. Now, here, this says life during the Ice Age, the mass extinction, okay? It says about 1,300 years ago, more than 3/4 of the large Ice Age animals, including woolly mammoths, mastodons, saber-toothed tigers, and giant bears, died out. So scientists have debated for years over the cause of the extinction, with both of the major hypotheses: human overhunting and climate change, insufficient to account for the mega die-off. See, so it says insufficient to account for the mega die-off. So all of these animals, but not these monkeys. Like I said, right? Look at all these monkeys. Not these monkeys. None of these monkeys died off. These monkeys that are evolving. So why did they survive if there was a mass extinction, right? And no one knows where the mass extinction came from, yet these monkeys died off. So what did they do? Hide in trees, right? Look at all these animals. They died off. No one knows why. Okay? They could have survived in the grasslands. So why did they die off? They don't know why. They don't know why they died off. No one knows why. Right? Basic explanation. The caves, the ice age melted very drastically. I don't know if some scientists don't want to believe in God, or they just haven't found any proof, but basically what happened was the end of the ice age ended when I keep losing that page. Anyways, the ice age killed off many animals and left humans, and it left all of the pretty animals that we have now. Okay? The pretty animals that we have now. Where are the pretty animals that we have now? These are the pretty animals we have. So That's why I believe Noah, God instructed Noah to put all these beautiful animals on the ship, on the boat, I mean. And he didn't take all of the other animals because they were too ugly or not loving enough. And so since God is a God of love and these animals are loving, he put them on on the whatever, you know, on the ark. Images, tools, size, any size. Okay, so you see all these animals are kind of loving, you know. Some animals are very wild but they all seem to have this kind of affection. I mean, you can even tell like fish and stuff like that, you know. So, why did we evolve so drastically? You know, there was to me, you know, during the when you look at the different timelines of history, right? I think that humans existed as long as God wanted them to exist. They could have been here from the beginning when there were dinosaurs. They could have been here, placed here, you know, since time doesn't matter to God. Yeah. Um, we could have been placed somewhere in the 5 million year mark. Yeah, we could have been placed on the earth around this time, right? Or we could have been placed here starting at, you know, 65 million years when there were already monkeys and stuff like that. We could have been placed here, right? Now, when Adam and Eve were born, they would live 1,000 years. So, what is, if they lived 1,000 years, we can just knock off one of the zeros from the million, it'll be like 100,000 years. So, if man came from here, it would be more like 65 million years. Instead of 65 million years, it would be like what, 6 million years ago. Okay, that's something else that is a little bit weird to talk about right now. But let's say that we came from 5 million years, right? Let's say that maybe there were different humans, right? We know that for a fact that there were different kind of humans that walked upright around 5 million years, you know, according to the skulls and stuff like that we found. If mankind did came from that and he made us out of clay, then we were different species. There could have been different species, and humans were fighting. He probably took aliens or God or the universe took the genes of monkeys and mutated us to be humans, and there was different kind of humans, and some of them were bad, and some of them were too ugly, and some of them were imperfect. So God said, I'm going to destroy the earth. And what you would say is 1,000,000 years to these men that lived thousands of years, 1,000,000 years would be like actually 500,000 years or something like that. Anyways, I don't know what to say, but when you read about Genesis and stuff like that, you learn that these men lived thousands of years, but Noah, he only lived 100 years. Why? Because the extinction caused, you know, life and the oxygen levels and the way the Earth was to be. I think it's because the Earth had less oxygen, so less oxygen meant less life, less power. So we were only able to live the most like about 100 to 120 years. So you see, that's what I think happened. The extinction happened, and this is what caused us to evolve. Because as you can see, it's about evolution. To me, it's not about evolution per se. Yeah, there's mutations in our genes, but these mutations in genes come to, you know, be because of God's ability to manipulate, you know, life, you know. Look at that. This is all galaxies, you know. These are all galaxies, but they're all connected by this electromagnetic lines, you see. You know, this is very interesting. It's so fucking beautiful. So, this image just gets stuck in my head. Look at that. So it seems like to me, honestly, I believe that we're all connected, and we manipulated God, and life is all connected in a web of life, which is kind of like love. And he decided to, save the creatures that are going to be more loving. So I don't believe that we necessarily evolved through being more intelligent. I think it comes from just being more loving and being more connected to the cosmos and stuff like that. So if, for example, the Earth was to uh, go through an extinction again, the creatures and the beings that are going to survive are going to be the ones that are more loving, and the ones that that God deems to be more loving and compassionate, because compassion is a force of love. And so when it comes down to love, people are selfless and more connected and things like that, and willing to sacrifice. So anyways, basically this is why all of these animals, the special ones, got put on the boat. The ones that got more selected, human beings were different kind of creatures, and God experimented with life on Earth to make it suitable for humankind, and then He put humankind on the ship. It was destiny for us to be here. Let's say, for example, we came from this one little point right there, then and we exist somewhere here. It was destiny for us to have came from there, from the beginning of the universe. Let's look at the timeline. You see, so it was destiny, to me, to make mankind. When you look at the stars, I believe that we came from the stars, um, and that we're a representation of the universe. Let me see, cosmic. How do you say this? Where we are in the galaxy. This is where we are in the galaxy, right? So you are here. So I believe that we came. This is where we are. See? Really? Anyways, so I believe that we are influenced. We're like here. We're like New York City, see? And I believe that we're all influenced by the whole universe, constellations. They're all gods, and we are trickled down to the earth, and all of the animals and human beings are representation of gods all around the universe, and that's how we're all connected in the web of life. And so what manipulates us is not necessarily that we're evolving on earth, because there's no such thing as evolving. It's just genetic mutations. Is that the universe, and the cosmic universe, is actually intervening with our development. And so mostly the reason why we're evolving is due to divine intervention. But we don't understand that. We don't understand how the universe is able to do that. I mean, look at this, for example. You see this star right here? You think that this is just like some art, like that it's fake? No, man. I read about scientists shit all the time, and this adds to the things that I think and makes me develop and understand things, and I just add this to my other thoughts and whatnot. This is about stars like this being formed 180 million years ago. So scientists have to put this into their mind and then reevaluate everything they ever thought, which is what this is about right here. It's about how they have to reevaluate what they thought. So, if you're a doctor or something like that, you have to keep in mind that things change. There's holistic medicines. There's, the old books are not going to tell you the truth all the time. New books have to be rewritten all the time. Or if you're a doctor and once you finished, you got your degree, you have to consider the new ideas that are coming out. I don't know why I'm looking at all of that. Anyways, so let's get back on topic, right? This is a little rant right here that I wrote to somebody. I said 1.5 million years is too short of a time for mankind to have evolved into such a smart being as humans. Other animals took more than 65 million years to evolve into what they are. Two, no other creature. Oh, I said 5 million years is too short of a time, right? Number two, no other creature has advanced as much as human beings, not with tongues, not even the apes, even though they are all smart. And the opposable thumbs, although they had to survive extinction eras, their brains had not evolved much except for human beings. Number three, every creature is its own distinct creature, not one like the other. They're all smart in their own way. For example, cats and dogs, we may say that that had been evolving separately for over 50 million years but stayed doing the same thing, whereas mankind and all its different races all live very highly different ways, eat different things, but are the same species as all human beings. Unlike cats, they don't eat fruits, none of them do, and dogs clean their own crap. And I say what I believe. I think I went through all of this. I said the animals that exist now are smaller in size, more beautiful compared to the Pliocene era. All the animals that existed back then could not have gone through such a rapid advance in evolution. Noah's Ark was the reason why the beautiful animals were saved from the mass extinction happening due to the melting of the ice age caps 2,000 years ago. Okay, so if you can't read that, I'm gonna show you all of that. Okay, all right. Believing in evolution a little bit. Now, I'm not gonna lie why I believe in evolution a little bit, but it's not the way we think. I believe that for God, time is nothing, so millions of years did pass an experiment of making our earth a physical place, but having mankind in mind has been something long thought of and predestined by the universe, which is why we are unique and distinct creatures. How it happened: when the universe was born, electromagnetism being the dominant force kept everything connected, so no matter how far apart all matter spread apart, everything was interconnected in the web of life and within communication of each other. Love and God. Love and God and electromagnetism is a force that shows everything is connected, so the universe this way predestines for mankind to become matter made upon the earth. He, the universe, took manipulated. He or God, God or the universe took manipulated the earth and its axis and with other planets and whatnot by controlling planets, stars, and galaxies, magnetism to get the results he wanted on earth. Noah was allowed to see these plans he had, and so he was instructed somehow to make the ark and save the beautifulest and best animals. God sent him to him by his ability to communicate to them in ways like perhaps electromagnetism or other ways we do not yet understand. This is why the earth has very beautiful animals and nature is so beautiful. So basically, that's the theory of why evolution is not real. Like I said, it's kind of real in some ways, but it's not the way we think because we're influenced by the environment and more than just what we do. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. Like, basically, it couldn't be we couldn't just walk out of the trees. We're not smart enough to just decide to walk out the trees. We're not smart enough to say, hey, let's walk out of the trees, guys. If every fucking creature is a monkey, there's a reason why we decided to start walking out of trees. We were forced to start walking out of trees. Why? Because of the extinctions. Okay? And we don't have a choice in making that decision. Something has to give us that choice, and the only way to literally give us that choice is for the universe to cosmically make it happen. So there's all these different kinds of species of human beings are around, but in order for us to be destined to be the only ones, there had to be a global extinction, and that extinction was during the Ice Age. and it happened very rapidly, and things happened very rapidly, and it happened within 5 million years, because that's what God and the universe had decided to do, to make man become what he is. So that shows you that, even if you uh don't believe, even if you like do believe in evolution, you can still believe in God, and God forced us to evolve. That makes sense. But yeah, it doesn't mean that, it doesn't seem that God is not real, because, and that evolution is like just some coincidence. You know, the fact that we evolved so quickly within 5 million years is another one of those great coincidences that I just learned, in doing this little research of, why God is probably real. Because what's the reason for us to be so unique upon this earth? The whole purpose of this is based on that every creature is so unique, and that we're so different from every creature. We're the only ones on this fucking planet that is smart enough. Why? We were forced into this. We were forced into this by something bigger, and that's it. So that's all I'm saying. So it's not like I'm not trying to say that we didn't evolve necessarily. All I'm saying is that we were forced into it. You know, um, it says that God gave us free will. So, you know, considering that we moved from free will and all the creatures that are beautiful and loving, I would say that um, evolving doesn't come from just being able to move around and survive. It comes with the need, and the need of love, and the need to survive in a loving way, I guess. I don't know. Universe is love. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyways, the end. I gotta end this. Thank you for watching.